Hello, welcome back to another YouTube video. My name's Ketan. I call myself that day-to-day guy, and if you're new here, I don't know how you got here because the algorithm shouldn't really be showing you as somebody that's not really producing much content, but here I am. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And I say supporting the channel. It's not like it's a big channel, but thanks for coming back and having another look. So it's been a while since I've done a video. This is the second time I've taken a hiatus, and first time was due to the just general stresses and trials and tribulations of life, which, to be honest with you, is when I should really be posting content, because it's about being real, isn't it? But anyway, as I said in my last video about that, like, work was getting a bit worryingly quiet, and we've kind of picked up again. So fingers crossed that continues. But the main reason for kind of falling off the YouTube wagon slightly was when this thing started out. When I started out doing this YouTube stuff, I was filming on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and I've got a case on it which allows me, it's got a 17mm thread on here, which allows me to screw in a lens. So I could have an anamorphic lens in there, I can have a wide lens in there, I can have a telephoto, which is essentially a zoom lens, to get some different perspectives. If you're traveling or even just at home, it gives you a slightly different look. To the normal person, you may not notice, but if you watch a lot of TV and films like I do, you notice these things. But anyway, the point is, that was supposed to be something easy, and then on top of the lenses there was an ND filter, and then what happened is I got external microphones, so then I got to put a receiver in here and then transmitter on you. One of my pet peeves about microphones is when people hold those tiny microphones in their hand like this, and oh man, anyway, we've all got our little pet peeves, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, and then this would go on a tripod. And if I wanted stabilization, I would put this on a gimbal, and a small gimbal, because the weight of this wouldn't work. So I had to go out and get I bought a Featech Scorp 2 gimbal, which is a very professional bit of looking bit of kit. But unfortunately, it looks like you're one of those, the videographers you get at like car shows or weddings and so on. It's just too big a rig to discreetly carry around. Not that you're trying to film on the sly, but just it's just overkill, basically, for a small YouTube channel like mine. And DJI have had this Pocket 3 camera out for donkey's years, and I've always shied away from it, thinking this is a better quality picture, until going down a YouTube rabbit hole, it turns out that actually the Pocket 3 is an excellent camera. And then they released the Pocket 4. While they released the Pocket 4, an upcoming camera was a Pocket 4P, which is what this is being filmed on. Hasn't been launched in the UK yet, but I ended up buying one from China. And it's got 2 lenses on it, which gives you one telephoto, one zoom lens, one zoom image, and then it also gives you the normal regular, 3 times for the zoom and 1 times for the regular perspective. ND filters live on the unit itself, so it doesn't really, doesn't mean there's not an extra thing to screw on. The gimbal is already built into the unit, and the unit isn't much bigger than this iPhone. So the great thing about it is also the microphone connects wirelessly straight to the unit. As soon as you turn the unit on, turn the microphone on, it just connects. And these things take away the friction of, oh my god, I've got to do all this stuff before I even press record. And that's the point. I was getting to a point where, and then you've got to edit it after as well. Editing is, sometimes it's fine, but if you've got consistent, good quality footage, it's easier to edit. So yeah, having a little bit of a swap around with equipment. I had a 360 camera as well, which I used and loved it, because the concept of a 360 camera is awesome. It films everything around you, and you can choose what you want to see and what you want to show rather afterwards. But the only thing is the quality is not as good as what you're seeing here and what you get on the iPhone. But yeah, I may get another 360 camera later, but that's very much for later. And while I was down this rabbit hole on this Pocket 4P camera thing, I then picked up a drone. So this drone is a DJI Air 3S, and I shied away from drones because once upon a time I had a remote control helicopter, which on the first flight I lost it went up in the sky, and these are the days when you couldn't just let go and it will just hover there. The wind would catch it, and you need a real skill to fly it. So anyway, I stayed away from all flying objects since then, but I bought this drone, this one in particular, because it has also, like the Pocket 4P that this is being filmed on, it's currently on the 3x lens, this has also got 2 lenses as well. So you get, you know, a lot more versatility with how you can film and what you can film. And I haven't used it much here, but I've done a nice, some aerial footage of the car just around where I live. I took it to Cyprus, and I got awesome parallax of the hotel that we were staying in. And the parallax is when your subject is in the middle of the frame and the drone is moving left to right, right to left, whatever. And the background, because of the compression of using a zoom lens, appears to be moving faster, and it just creates a nice, interesting shot. I did a great one of Tower Bridge as well. That's, you know, this is all a learning curve for me, but very much enjoying using this drone. But main thing is I want to get out there and start doing some car content, especially where the weather's still good. Get some content of the SL and get some content of the e-tron, but just get back into the general swing of things on the whole YouTube stuff. What I've also bought is a Tilta, I always forget the name of this, a Tilta Hydra Pro Alien Mini, it's called. What a long name. But essentially it's an arm with some suspension which this camera pops onto, and you attach it to the outside of the car using a suction mount, and it dampens all the bumps. So essentially you attach it to another car, the camera's on another car, and while you're driving, that car is filming you. So this unit that I've got here, you can track it, you can set to tracking, and then it will track the object, or in this case a car. I haven't used it with this camera yet, but when I bought that, I used my 360 camera to get some footage when me and Foray were heading home from work. I attached the unit to Foray's car, and I got some footage of the Audi e-tron. So that's another thing I'm looking forward to getting. So you've got some road perspectives, you're going to get some aerial perspectives, just getting that kind of creativity going again. But the main reason I started this YouTube channel in the first place was to get my thoughts out there, which is the most kind of, dare I say, meaningful side of life. So much has happened since I posted my last video, like with all this manosphere malarkey and the general division of society, you know, like politically, religiously, you know, gender, sexes, whatever. Like, we're just on a real whirlwind at the moment, and there are some things in there that I want to address. I dress like I'm somebody, I'm a nobody. Let's get that one thing straight first of all. I am just as much of a nobody as everybody else, and just as much as a somebody as everybody else. It's you know, we're just so insignificant in the grand scheme of life. We're only significant to those who are our absolute nearest and dearest. So whatever I speak about on this channel is my opinion, and some people may agree with it, some people may not agree with it, and that's cool, because we need those different perspectives in life to get a balanced perspective, because there's nothing where being in the extreme is always the best. It's always about being in somewhere in the middle. So yeah, over the coming weeks, now that I've got a frictionless process of filming, I will post more content, basically. So, you know, you'll hear some more perspectives about life from a middle-aged man. And, you know, feel free to reach out, chat, comment, whatever, you know, debate about anything that I talk about. But yeah, if you got this far, thank you for watching. And I do appreciate everyone who watches these videos, because like I said, I'm a tiny YouTube channel. I've got no plans to, I've got no objective to make this into anything, because I just want to be creative, make some videos and share it with the world, and get to talk and put my perspective across. So once again, thank you for watching, and we shall see you on the next video. Ciao for now.